even the most successful person in the world is still on a roller coaster ride. Because we're human. We're literally all human. No one gets to escape the fact that we are emotional beings and we're up and we're down and we're up and we're down and we're up and we're down. Like, no one is just plain sailing through this life. Hello! Welcome back to another episode of the She Means Business Show. I am so excited that you're here because I wanted to share something with you today. It was a question that came up. I just did a live web chat this past week. It's a fun new feature we're testing out on our new platform. And it was just so fun and so lovely to connect and hang out and to show up live and answer questions. And a really amazing question came up that I really wanted to talk about more because I think this is something that people struggle or suffer with in silence. And so I want to talk about it. But yeah, it's been a busy week. We're in the prep stage of a fun challenge that we're going to be hosting in the new year to help everyone start the year with, in an amazing way with a really big energy and get excited about what they can make happen throughout 2022. So definitely keep a lookout for getting involved in that because our challenges are always blooming brilliant. But anyway, right, here is the question that Eva said. She said, "Hi Carrie, what do you advise to stick on the long run? What do you advise to help stick on the long run with your business commitment? I used to be on a roller coaster, enthusiastic, working hard, getting some results, getting distracted or discouraged, less results, had to put quite a lot of energy to get back on track. You seem to have a steady increase in your business. What is the secret to avoid the roller coaster? Thank you." So this was my reply. I said, "I wish I could give you my secret, but I don't have one because I am also on the roller coaster, sat right next to you. I'm up and down too, and sometimes things are so tough. This year has been really challenging at times. Things that used to work seem to stop working. I try to look at what I can do to keep moving forward in the direction I want to go. So if I notice I've been feeling stuck on the negative things, I have a planning day, or I journal, or come up with new ideas, or speak to a mentor or a friend, or post in a group, anything to shift me in the right direction. Stick with it, follow your heart, and your dreams won't lead you astray." And I wanted to talk about this because I feel like so often we're experiencing these ups and downs, but then we look out on social media or maybe we have conversations with people and we feel like no one else is on that roller coaster ride with us. And we think it's just happening to us. And then it makes us come back to this question of, is something wrong with me? I'm not going to be able to make it work. And then that's when people give up because they feel so alone. And I don't want anyone to ever feel alone with this. Firstly, I think we just forget this, especially when you look at successful people. I feel like even the most successful person in the world is still on a roller coaster ride because we're human. We're literally all human. No one gets to escape the fact that we are emotional beings and we're up and we're down and we're up and we're down and we're up and we're down. Like, no one is just plain sailing through this life. Because we wouldn't ever create growth if we were plain sailing for a start. But you and I in particular, we are trailblazers. We're coming up with ideas, some often thousands of ideas, and we want to create amazing things and create success. And that means we're pushing ourselves outside of our comfort zone. There's this whole concept of the valley of despair, this idea that you come up with an idea and it's inspiring and it's exciting and you're so fired up for it, and then all of a sudden you start to dip into the valley of despair, and this is where you start to realize, I don't know how to do this, maybe I don't have enough qualifications, I'm not good enough, there's already so many other people doing this, is my idea even going to work, will anyone ever buy from me? And we start to spiral down into this valley of despair, and then it's literally about picking ourselves up and trying to get out of the other side of the valley. And throughout my whole journey, especially in business, I have just literally gone through these valleys of despair, up and down, round and round in circles, through the tangled mess of entrepreneurship. And I think it's, like I said, it's easy to look around online and think that someone else is like sailing through this. So I'd like to be completely honest and transparent and open. Since having kids, when Casey was born at the end of 2018, I definitely felt myself kind of take a back seat with my business. And I definitely got to a place where I wasn't sure how to show up anymore. I wasn't sure what I wanted to say. I felt really disconnected. And I felt like I really was on a big roller coaster. And even this year, it got to the point where it became okay for me to stop showing up online. Like I'd made it okay for myself because, in fact, I actually gave myself permission, like, to not have to show up on Instagram anymore. Because one, I was finding when I was going on Instagram, I was honestly being sucked down a rabbit hole of seeing what everyone else was doing and just feeling so utterly crap about myself. I bet you have experienced this once or twice yourself. And then I just thought, every time I go on Instagram, I just feel like crap. And I look around and I think, I don't want to do this stuff. I don't want to be a performing monkey. Like, that's not what I started a business for. I didn't start a business to be a performing monkey. I don't want to do these things. And like, great if you want to do that and that feels exciting for you, then that's amazing. But for me, it just didn't feel good. And I just would see that and think, I don't want to do this stuff. Like, I just want to be able to share my message. And although there was confusion around like, well, who am I anymore? I don't even know. And so I just got to a point where I just stopped showing up on Instagram. And also like, we did a launch this year. Oh my gosh, like so many things went wrong. We had so many technical issues and it was just a bloody nightmare, to be honest. And so many things that used to work weren't working anymore, like Facebook ads, like bloody hell, it took a nosedive with all the iOS changes and everything. Like, I felt like that wasn't really working as well anymore. And you know what I did? I started to speak to other people. What's going on for you? How are your ads performing? And would you believe it? So many people were like, my launch was terrible. The last launch completely flopped. My ads are just awful. My cost per leads doubled, this, all that. And just, I started to realize like, you know, we're all going through different ups and downs and challenges. And some people right now are doing amazingly well. Other people are feeling like, bloody hell, can I even keep going? Do I even want to keep going? What am I even doing anymore? And through building a business, like I have always gone through these phases. Like I wanted to actually read you this passage from my book because I feel like I kind of summed it up well, if I may say so myself. So like in my book, She Means Business, in the intro part, I wrote, the entrepreneurial journey is a crazy one. We come up with an idea, or often far too many ideas, and then we set off on our own, determined to turn our idea into a successful reality. The emotions kick in like never before as you're pushed outside of your comfort zone while trying to figure it all out. One moment you're ridiculously excited, inspired, and fired up. The next you feel exhausted, drained, and unsure if you made the right choice. Ultimately, being an entrepreneur is like being on a roller coaster ride in the dark. You feel alone, you feel scared, there are ups and downs, and you haven't got a clue what's coming next. But all the while, you feel exhilarated. You're smiling even though on the inside you have moments of thinking, what am I doing? While the journey is a crazy one, there's something we all have to realise. Success is not an accident. It's something we have to create on purpose, and we can all do it, every single one of us. And then I just went on to say about creating a mission success challenge, which I talk about. And then I put, just in case there's a part of you that's questioning this right now and saying, yeah, right, as if I'll be able to create the business and life of my dreams, stop. I know you can do it. But if I'm wrong, which I'm not, but let's just pretend for a moment, what's the point in thinking you can't get there? What's the point in thinking that success is not yours for the taking? That your voice is worthless, that you have no value to offer, that you have no skill or knowledge to do it? What is the point? There is no point. It keeps you playing small. Ultimately, we are here right now. We are living, breathing people who have incredible opportunities at our fingertips. If that doesn't scream at you, speak up, show up, be amazing, then I don't know what will. In this crazy and amazing universe that quite frankly we humans don't understand, we exist here on Earth for such a limited time, so make it count. And don't listen to the people that tell you. Don't listen to the people that think it's not possible. And it's so true. I feel like part of the biggest reason why I wanted to start the Female Entrepreneur Association is because when we have these ideas to create businesses or ideas to create revenue streams, it's really exciting. but we can quickly start to get in our own way, hold ourselves back, or people around us are like, what? You're never going to be able to make that work, or that idea is silly, or that idea is done. And, everyone's got a blooming opinion. And I feel like it can feel so lonely trying to figure it out. And so we can start to feel like there is, like I said, something wrong with us. And we're the only one on this bloody roller coaster. And I am here to tell you, you are not the only one. Like literally, I am sat right beside you. I am right beside you. And I think every single person in this world is sat on that same bloody roller coaster. It's the roller coaster of life and business and everything. And when you are a person who is pushing the boundaries of your life, you're dreaming big, you're coming up with ideas, you're trying to turn them into a successful reality. And so for you are facing even more discomfort, because to take an idea that was in your head, pull it out of your head and turn it into reality, it requires you have to become a certain type of person to be able to do that, to figure out the millions of things that you need to figure out in order to do it. But while it's a roller coaster of a journey, it's such a beautiful journey because it creates personal growth. I am so grateful for this roller coaster ride because it's made me a better version of myself. It feels so fulfilling because I'm constantly stretching my potential and challenging myself to grow and grow and grow. So when you feel that discomfort, it's like leading into it and knowing like, this is a sign that I'm on the right track, that I'm actually going in the right direction, because I'm questioning, I'm dreaming, I want this so badly. And that's why I don't like it when I dip, because I want to figure this out. So I've kind of taken my roller coaster as a sign that I'm going in the right direction. But for me, it's really, really been crucial that I have managed my roller coaster. I'll give you an example, because before I started FEA, there were like 3 years or so where I went round and round and round in circles, and there weren't really very many ups on my roller coaster ride. It was mainly just down and down and down and down and down. And I just felt more and more frustrated, more and more fed up with myself, more and more honestly depressed and anxious and stressed. I started to get really bad heart palpitations. I felt like I was living in a prison, and I was literally a prisoner of myself. I felt so all consumed by these negative thoughts. I felt like they completely controlled me. It got so out of control, and I felt utterly, utterly, utterly miserable. And I think that when you don't stop to take care of yourself and to take care of the ride, then it becomes a problem. And so I really wanted to share with you in this episode the things that I have done that have really helped me, so that you can be on the roller coaster, but you're enjoying the ride. Like, you're enjoying it because you know that while there are dips, there are also the ups, and you're consciously aware that when you are dipping, you're allowing yourself to ride it, but you're also really pushing yourself in the direction of coming back up the other side. And so if, for example, if I don't work on myself, and I'm not paying attention to what is really going on, then I can spiral and spiral and spiral down. And then I get myself into a really, really difficult situation. So that's what we don't want. We don't want to end up in that place. So for me, the biggest thing is to work on us. We have to work on ourselves. You have to work on yourself. I actually wrote something down. What I wrote down is actually irrelevant, but we have to make time and give ourselves space to work on ourselves. And so often we don't, because we're so busy thinking we have to send that email, we have to post that on Instagram, we have to do this, we have to do that we actually don't make ourselves time to work on ourselves, because we don't put it as a priority. If it's not a priority, we then start to spiral. At least I can only speak from my own experience, and I know it's true for me. If I do not make looking after myself and my mental health and the way I feel a priority, then I am no good to anyone. I am absolutely 100% no good for my dreams. for my amazing dreams and ideas and my desires, I am no good for them. So I know that I have to make time for it. And it's so simple. It's so simple. Every single one of us can do this, and it's so life-changing. And especially if you're out of the habit of working on yourself, then when you start working on yourself, you might start to feel resistance, like, oh, it's never going to make a difference, or it's not going to help. But it does. Like, I remember back in 2010-ish, 11-ish, whenever it was around then, when I was really in a big dip, I started to work on my mindset, really. And I thought, oh, this is never going to make a difference. I felt like my negative thoughts, my limiting beliefs were so loud that I felt like doing mindset stuff and saying stop and go away thought was just so stupid that it would never make a difference. But I persevered with it, and I kept going and I kept going, doing all these different exercises. And one day I woke up and I realized, oh my gosh, it's been ages since I've had one of those negative thoughts. I just wasn't dragging myself down anymore. I wasn't so all consumed with my negative thoughts and worries. So a couple of things I wanted to share, 5 things with you that I have actually written down. The first thing is that we really have to create awareness for ourselves. Like, you have to be aware of how you are feeling and what your state is, so that you know if you're starting to feel yourself dipping, you're aware of it, and so therefore you can do something about it. So whether it's journaling, whether it's just checking in with yourself on literally like, how am I feeling today? Like, just taking even a couple of minutes to just tune in with yourself and asking yourself, how are you feeling? Every Thursday I have like a mind business soul day, and part of that is journaling. It's visualizing, it's connecting with myself. How am I feeling? How has this week been? Has it been good? Has it been bad? Why? What has been going on? What has been making me feel the way I've been feeling? And by looking at that and dissecting that, I get to start to take control and think, well, actually, it's not been a great week and I don't feel good. So what are the solutions? And it gets me off of the problem of like, I'm overwhelmed, I'm stressed out, this isn't working, to actually, I identify that I feel this way. What could I do that could make me feel better? So that's the first thing, is creating that awareness and making it part of your routine that you do, like every day, every week. You're creating that awareness intentionally. So the second thing is to surround yourself with inspiration and things that are going to really pick you back up, whether it's people who are in your life that you feel are really positive and inspirational and just really good to be around. So people, it could be online, offline. Maybe you think, well, there's no one around me, my family and my in-person, family, my home friends, they're not, then they feel then just as negative, and they just feel like they bring me down. Then you need to join some groups online and get surrounded by people that cheer you on and that make you feel like you can do anything, that anything's possible for you. Books, reading books, immersing yourself in books that are going to help you again feel inspired and empowered and help you to grow and have that growth mindset. Listening to videos, go on YouTube. There's tons of videos by so many amazing people: Lisa Nichols, Mel Robbins, Les Brown, Jim Rohn, Jim Carrey, like Will Smith. There's so many amazing people, Oprah, like on YouTube that you can find that are so inspiring and so empowering. Listening to podcasts like this one, so you're obviously already doing that. So I know you're probably already doing this kind of stuff because you're this kind of person already. But it's just nice to have that reminder, because maybe you just kind of like not doing as much as you could to help you as you kind of ride the roller coaster. The other thing, third thing, music is so powerful. It can change the way we feel in an instant. So create a playlist for yourself full of music that's really going to get you fired up, feeling inspired, feeling like I'm going to do this, I'm going to make this possible, so that when you're in that dip, you can go to that playlist and that music's going to really help pull you out and get you going again. I've got a She Means Business playlist that's on Spotify. So if you search She Means Business on Spotify, you will find that playlist. And it's a playlist that was created by lots of women from all over the world, that everyone recommended songs, and I added them all to the list. It's kind of a bit of a crazy list. The fourth thing is to really stay focused on your vision and why you're doing what you're doing. So it's so easy to lose sight of where we're going and what we're doing. But when you just give yourself space to pull it back to, what is my vision? And why am I doing this? I'm doing this because I don't want to have a 9 to 5 job that I don't enjoy. I'm doing this because I want to be able to earn more or travel or take my kids to Disneyland, or whatever it is for you. What is your why for doing what you're doing? And when you come back to that, it creates more reason for you to pick yourself back up when you are feeling like you're slipping into that valley of despair place. So remembering, no, this is what I'm here for. My life is important, and I want to make a difference, and I want to live my best life, and this is why, and this is my vision. And staying connected to that is really, really powerful, because if you lose touch with that, it's so easy to just be like, oh, well, what's the point? And and to just give up, basically. So really staying focused on that. And then fifthly, one of my favorites is use your imagination like crazy, because so often we're using our imagination to experience or to create scenes of the worst case scenarios for ourselves, of the things that we don't want to experience. But when you use your imagination for the things that you do want to experience, the life that you do want to create for yourself, the success that you do want to welcome in, your life can change. In your imagination, anything is possible. You can literally experience anything you want in your imagination. So use it. All the great people in this world have used their imagination for the better. And this is a skill that all of us need to tap into. The same way that you can literally hold your hand out and imagine holding a ball in your hand like a tennis ball. You can feel it in your hand, or a golf ball. You can feel it in your hand, or a baseball. You can feel it in your hand. The same way you can do that, or the same way you can imagine biting into a lemon and getting your saliva glands going, you can imagine the things that you want, the things that you want to experience. Immerse yourself in that, in your imagination, in your vision of what you want. The more you start doing it, the more you'll start dreaming, the more exciting it will feel. And again, when you have this imagination and this visualization stuff going on, and then you get into day-to-day life and you're like, yes, but I can't do it, and all these things are happening and all this stuff's popping up. I want you to pull yourself back. So even though you've not figured out how to do it, even though you're not sure how it's all going to unfold, you're coming back to that. I know this is what I want to experience. This is the standard I'm setting for myself. This is a done deal. This is non-negotiable. And you're bringing yourself back to that vision and that vibration that you have for yourself and what you want to make happen, what you want to bring into reality. Like Esther Hicks said, something like, use your imagination until manifestation is the next logical step. So just immerse yourself in your imagination. And what I find when I am feeling, so for example, like say I've had a really terrible launch, it didn't go the way I feel. And so for me, things that might pop up are like, what if I can't keep this going? What if it doesn't work? What if I can't, what if it just all falls apart? So for me, that's like, say, some thoughts that will pop up. And for me, it's going back to the vision of, I'm holding myself to this level. This is what I'm expecting. This is what I'm working towards. This is what is a done deal. This is just what is. And when I do that and I get into that way onto that wavelength, I'm shifting myself away from the fears and the doubts and the worries, and I'm shifting my focus onto, no, I'm blooming going to do this. I don't know how, and it might not be working out right now, but I'm going to figure out a way, and I'm going to keep going and keep going and keep going. So just trying to do all these things, but I think ultimately we're all different things work for all of us, and it's knowing for yourself what works for you when it comes to working on yourself, working on that growth mindset. What are you proactively doing to work on your growth mindset? What are you proactively doing every day or every week to tune in with yourself, to check in with yourself, to really be there for yourself and to be, to support yourself? What things are you doing? The more you work on yourself, the more your business is going to thrive, the more your ideas will flourish, the more abundance you'll bring into your life, the more success you'll bring into your life. It's just what happens. So you've got to really work on that. And obviously the roller coaster is still going to be there, ups and downs, but you'll find that you can navigate it a lot easier. You've got more mental stamina to keep going as you're climbing those mountains. and it'll just be like an inner determination and an inner knowing that you're just going to do it. Like, this is my life. It's literally like playing the game of life. If you ever read the book by Florence Scovel Shinn, The Game of Life and How to Play It, like, literally, we're all playing the game of life. Some of us are playing it as well, and some of us are not playing it well. And so for me, I want to figure out, how can I play this game as well as I can? Like, how can I make this life the best experience ever? So just kind of like doing that stuff, it doesn't ever get rid of the roller coaster. It doesn't get rid of the negative thoughts. Like, you don't ever get rid of all your fears. They're always still there. It's how are you managing it? How are you managing it so that you can literally, like I said earlier, strap yourself into the ride and ride it, and it'd be like, this is fun, this is exhilarating, and sometimes it's bloody scary as hell. But we're just we're on it, and we're just flowing with the roller coaster a lot more easily. So anyway, I really wanted to share this, for any of you that are experiencing or in that dip at the moment. You're just like, oh, this is shit. I just wanted to show up and be like, I know it can feel so crap. I know it because I've experienced it over and over and over again, and I'm right here with you. And I know that while it can feel crap, it can also feel amazing. And you know that too. You know you can get to that place. And you know that when you get to that amazing place, you'll also experience it being crap again, because that's just life. Like I said, it's just human experience. But when you're not alone. We're all together in this. And it's just filling up your toolbox with things that are going to help you to get out of that dip as quickly as possible, so that you can feel good, because that's what we all want, isn't it? We want to feel good. We want to feel like we're progressing. We want to feel like we're expanding and creating that growth. So yes, but you can make the most amazing things happen, even on this blooming roller coaster ride. And do not for a second think that someone else isn't on that roller coaster ride, because no matter how perfectly they portray their life, they're bloody on the roller coaster ride with us, okay? If anyone wants to challenge me on that, then go ahead. I'll be all ears to listen to you. But yes, we are just humans at the end of the day. No one is, we're all human. There's no exception. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I hope it's helped you to feel good about yourself. And even if you are in that dip, I hope it's helped you to think, I'm going to get out of this, and what can I do to get out of this faster? And am I doing what, and also, sometimes I feel I give myself permission to be in a season where I just need to, sometimes it's not a growth season, sometimes it's a self-care season, and that's fine. So it's tuning in with yourself to know that about you, and to ride it as well as you can. Okay, so I said it all I needed to say. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you haven't subscribed to the podcast, make sure you subscribe. You can do so on Apple Podcasts. It's also on Spotify and also all platforms. And like I said, keep a lookout for the fun challenge we're going to be doing in January. It's free and it's going to be blooming amazing, and I'll be so excited to have you join us for it. So keep a lookout on the website. If you're not on our email list yet, then definitely make your way onto it. There's a subscribe link over on the website. You can sign up. We've got free quiz. We've got lots of fun stuff going on. So get involved. We actually have a Goodbye 2021 workbook that I put together, which is free. It's going to help you to close out 2021. So download that. I'll put it in the show notes for you as well. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you feel like leaving me or coming and sending me a message on Instagram or sharing anything on Instagram relating to this episode, then tag me at I am Carrie Green, and I will see you next week for another episode of the She Means Business Show. I hope you've loved this week's episode of the She Means Business Show. If you want more help and support to build a wildly successful business, then join hundreds of thousands of women and become an FEA insider. You'll get access to some of our amazing freebies, to our bonuses, to our giveaways, to so much good stuff. You can join me over at fea.link/insider to get all of the goodness. And I will see you next week for another episode of the She Means Business Show.